Thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kimani St. In the headlines, 60 more apartments in Roseau by 2018. Ministry of Commerce presents $1 million to the Aid Bank for musicians, and government to finance model farm in Cochrane. Stay with us for details of these and other stories right after this.
Child abuse is unacceptable. Child abuse is not cultural, it is criminal. And one child abuse is one too many.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
I am not doing these things for people to vote for me. I am doing this thing because I believe that we have a Christian obligation to help the poor. And we have a Christian obligation to provide housing for the homeless. We have a Christian obligation to feed the poor and hungry. We have a Christian obligation to clothe those who are naked. And we cannot keep saying in this country that we read the Bible and we pray, and then the same people who say they read the Bible and they pray criticize the government for helping people who are in need in this country.
The Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit has 60 apartments, 34 in Bath Estate and 24 in Emsall, were officially handed over to residents at a ceremony in Bath Estate on Wednesday. Construction of these buildings began in 2013 as part of government's solution to affordable quality housing for people living in the city. Recognizing the need to improve the housing stock in Dominica, the Dominica Labour Party administration began the Housing and Sanitation Program, also dubbed the Housing Revolution Program, in 2006. The nation's leader shared his excitement for the 60 families whose housing conditions have been improved.
There's scores of families in this country who would not be able to own a home, to shelter appropriately their families, had it not been for the intervention of government. So I'm very excited for the beneficiaries of the 60 apartments, because many of you have been subjected to rents. And I can say to you, every government's policy, which we have the opportunity to articulate, comes about by the government's direct interaction with the people whom it represents. And as the Prime Minister of this country, no issue is too insignificant, no issue is too small for me to pay attention to.
Honorable Skerrit says his primary motivation as a leader of the country is to exercise a moral obligation to help those in need.
The Lord has placed me in a position to help people, and I have an obligation to help those who are in need, and I am making no apologies to anybody in Dominica for helping people. And those who do not want to vote for me for that, that's a matter between you, your conscience, and your Lord. Because my primary motivation is not politics. My primary motivation is not for votes. Now, I will be disappointed if you don't vote for me. But that's not my primary motivation. It is to help people create a better life.
Honorable Minister for Housing Reginald Austri brought into perspective the Housing and Sanitation Program. He informed that since its inception, $50 million has been expended on home repairs and $15 million for low-interest mortgages, which benefited over 100 public servants, among other forms of housing and sanitation assistance. Honorable Austri says housing remains a major priority for this Dominica Labour Party administration.
This ceremony here this afternoon is a clear manifestation of government's policy, government commitment, and a promise made to the people of Dominica to providing affordable housing to the people as part of its much talked about housing revolution, which commenced in 2006. At that time, there was a report stating that over 5,000 homes in this country needed repairs and over 10,000 new homes were required. Now, that was a report that we met when we got into government in 2000. And the total cost of doing all this was estimated to be somewhere in the region of some $300 million. Hence the birth of the housing revolution. But interestingly, that revolution was born during a period of serious economic and financial crisis throughout the world.
He says the DLP administration, notwithstanding opposition, was able to sustain this program for 11 years. The Ministry of Housing received over 1,200 applications for these apartments. The Housing Minister says deciding who would receive these apartments was a challenging task. He asked the 60 recipients to show their appreciation by embracing their new community and upkeeping the space.
But all we're asking you is to take care of the building and to live up to your obligations in the agreement which you will sign, because there will be an agreement, to live up to your obligations which you will sign in the agreement. I want to urge you to foster a stronger sense of family, a stronger sense of unity among yourselves.
Two residents spoke on behalf of the recipients of both apartment complexes.
To God be the glory. We rented houses for years. They were good, nice landlords, not too nice landlords, inconsiderate landlords. However, this is now in the past. Thank you, my Prime Minister. Lord, thank you for spirit, for your spirit. On behalf of the residents and myself, we would like to say a heartfelt thanks to the Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Roseau and his government of Dominica for allowing us to have this beautiful.
Meantime, the nation's leader announced that by next August, 60 more apartments will be made available in Roseau.
And I will say to the families who applied and who did not receive an apartment, because there were but 60 apartments, that God's willing, we will see some 60 additional apartments constructed in the city of Roseau. And we expect these apartments to be ready by August of 2018. So it's a very short time from now. And I can tell you, if you think these apartments are aesthetically beautiful, wait when you see those in Roseau.
In more news, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roseau has made a commitment to assist in expanding Cochrane's Rabbit Festival. Shaakira Pierre has more.
The government of Dominica has promised to make funds available for the construction of a model rabbit farm in Cochrane. The Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roseau made this announcement at a town hall meeting in Cochrane on Thursday. The Honorable Prime Minister says government will finance the operations of this model farm for 1 year. He revealed that government will also meet the cost for the construction of the building.
I am making this offer to you, the residents of Cochrane, again. And I'm saying to you that the government will provide the financing for that farm over a 1 year period until you're able to sell your meat and be self-sufficient. So we're prepared to pay to build the infrastructure. We will provide you through the Ministry of Agriculture with some rabbits to start off with. And rabbits, they rear very quick, you know. Every month, you know. Before they have a litter, they back on. on the roll again. So very quickly can be loaded the rabbits here in Cochrane. So we pray to provide some of the rabbits to you from the Ministry of Agriculture and also provide the village with funds to buy the feed for a limited period of time.
The nation's leaders said residents of Cochrane should be able to supply the Rabbit Festival Committee with rabbits for the annual Rabbit Festival.
I have always said, and Dr. Mack and I have spoken about this, and when I had the occasion to speak to the Rabbit Fest, both Dr. Mack and myself, we've always said to the committee, and of course the wider community of Cochrane, that the Rabbit Fest must be an opportunity for us to be self-sufficient in the supply of our meat. Because I remember one year we had to give you maybe about $40,000 or so to buy rabbit meat from out of Cochrane. And I'm saying, why don't we use this money and to have a model rabbit farm of the Caribbean here in Cochrane? I am making this offer to you, the residents of Cochrane, again. And I'm saying to you that the government will provide the financing for that farm over a one-year period until you're able to sell your meat and be self-sufficient.
Honorable Skerrit called on members of the Rabbit Festival Committee to work closely with government to achieve this goal.
So the offer is on the table. I urge the committee here and the residents, let us work together. This is about, you can't, if you're going to be promoting the Rabbit Fest, it makes no sense you take your money from Cochrane and you bring it other parts of Dominica. The idea of the Rabbit Fest is to cause the rest of Dominica and the Caribbean to come to Cochrane, spend their money and leave it here in our pockets here in Cochrane. So let us start it. Let us start it. It's an opportunity to create employment for some and to create some economic activity for the wider community.
Government made a contribution of $30,000 towards this year's Rabbit Festival. For GIS News, I'm Shaakira Pierre.
After more than 30 years, the inspector's quarters on the grounds of the St. Joseph Police Station is being demolished, and in its place, a new building to house the police inspector will be built. Contractor on the project is certain that, as promised, in 6 months, the job will be done.
Work has already commenced in terms of the breaking down, the demolition of the building. They've started the roof, and by next week the entire building will be completely demolished. This project was captured in the estimates for 2016 and 2017, and it is costing the government in excess of $350,000 to construct a new inspector quarters here in the community of St. Joseph. This is an investment that the government is making in the police of the country to ensure they can have better living standards, and I believe the inspector quarters here in St. Joseph has been out of use for a long time, and that is why this investment has been made. I want to publicly thank the Prime Minister for making the funds available, and also the Minister of National Security, the Honourable Ruben Blackmore, for his efforts in pushing this project to commence before the end of the financial year.
Work will also be done to upgrade the access to the police station. Local contractor Rev St. Charles has been contracted on the project and has already engaged 10 men for the project. He is confident that he can deliver in 6 months.
I just start on Tuesday, that's the 18th, and I'm hoping that on the 10th of October I would have to close up, deliver.
So by the 10th of October you should have the building all set and ready?
I think so, yeah. So that's roughly 6 months, yeah.
What does the building entail?
Well, the building is the inspector quarters with 2 bedrooms and car park and small balcony.
GIS News was in St. Joseph constituency visiting several projects, including road rehabilitation, new lots for village expansion, and the reconstruction of the inspector quarters. However, the Honorable MP, Kelva Daru, says of all these projects, the one dearest to his heart is a small home built for a middle-aged, mentally challenged man in St. Joseph who desperately needed better living conditions. Daru believes that impacting the lives of people like this man is one of the fundamental principles underpinning the Dominica Labour Party administration.
this is a government who is compassionate about the less fortunate, and that is why we had to do this for him. We'll also be putting in a washroom there for him as well, and ensuring that the house is properly painted, as well as a sink and kitchenette area. And I will, as a parent, I'll be providing him with a new bed and mattress, because the current mattress that he has is not in a good state at all. So I'm happy with the work that has been done there for him, and it goes to show that no matter who you are or the circumstances that you are, as a government, we still have a responsibility to look out for you.
Honorable Daru informed that the housing program will continue in his constituency. He says 15 new homes will be built and several more homes will be repaired.
A lot of times we are criticized for taking care of people, but so be it. We have a responsibility to ensure that we do this, and all of this stems from the leadership of our party and the Prime Minister, Roseau.
When you think about it, food is life. That's why people come to Dominica. They don't only come for the waterfall or the scenery or the views, but it's the flavor. Sometimes it is just what they can taste. The flavors that we have here, you can't find anywhere in the world. They are truly unique. I've been in business 17 years, and I see so many guests come and go. My business is to put a smile on their face and something good in their belly. Everything we serve here is local. It comes from all over Dominica. So we get fresh lettuce, or vegetable, or fish from Saint-Sauveur, all our product from the farm. Sometimes go on the farm and have them pick. The uniqueness of the experience is in how authentic it is. I heard the taxi driver promoting my plantain chips. I said, that's the best plantain chips you can ever have. I don't have to go and put on TV. Money is not everything, but leaving customer with a smile, friendly service, and they will come back. This is the real Dominica. I'm just proud to be a part of it. My name is Maurice Smith. They call me Rudy. Tourism is my business.
Welcome back. The government has made good on its promise to make funds available for lending to persons in the creative arts industries. On Friday, the Ministry of Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development handed over a check of $1 million to the Agricultural Industrial Development Bank, the Aid Bank. Loans ranging from $5,000 to $100,000 can be accessed by musicians, producers, songwriters, publishers, cultural groups, and the like, to be repaid at an interest rate of 2% and grace period of 6 months.
Target group would include musicians, singers, songwriters, musical arrangers, musical educators and trainers, musical producers, musical promoters, musical groups, band, calypso tents, recording studios, production entities engaged in music video production, cultural groups, and other related beneficiaries can target or can access this loan facility.
GIS will bring you more on this story in a subsequent newscast. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Science, Telecommunications and Technology, Lucian Blackmore, has expressed that the ministry sees information, communication and technology as a pertinent factor for social and professional development of young Dominican women. The Permanent Secretary was speaking at a prize-giving ceremony held on Thursday to recognize Dominican girls in ICT. The ceremony, which was held at the Dominica State College, was one of the activities marking the celebration of International Girls in ICT Day.
We recognize that Girls in ICT is not just about playing with computers or knowing about information, telecommunications, and all the other gains you can have from having a modern idea or education. For us, we see ICT as the key driver, whether you look at your socialization or your social development, or whether you look at the productive sector.
International Girls in ICT Day, celebrated on the 4th Thursday in April every year, is geared at creating a global environment that empowers and encourages girls and young women to consider careers in the growing field of ICTs and enabling both girls and technology companies to reap the benefits of greater female participation in the ICT sector.
For us in Dominica and at the ministry, we feel very privileged in that we recognize our girls and more so our women as a national asset. And for you, as the girls, what does that signify is that we see you as the future generation in many aspects, but for today we'll just recognize the aspect where it has to do with your profession. And from ever since we know ourselves as a country, we have seen women in the forefront. And for that, we can boast that we are ahead of the crowd that is still battling and grappling with the issues of gender equality and gender balance.
In recognition of International Girls in ICT Day, the Dominica State College ICT Department, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information Science, Telecommunications and Technology and the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, held a high school competition where groups of girls in ICT represented their schools by creating short animated videos using the Scratch It program. The Convent High School emerged winners for Best Animations, with the team from the Orion Academy capturing the prize for Viewers' Choice. International Girls in ICT Day was held under the theme Expanding Horizons, Changing Attitudes. Financial Secretary of the Government of Dominica, Rosemond Edwards, has reported that 2,466 applications have been approved onto Dominica's Citizenship by Investment program. This information was announced during the national consultation on the development prospects for Dominica within the context of the Citizenship by Investment program as a platform for raising the funds necessary to finance development activities. Edwards presented the statistics of applications made and approved from 2012 to 2016.
In 2012, a total of 332 applications were received, 104 were approved, 3 were declined. In 2013, 161 applications were received, 184 approved. In 2014, 206 applications received, 189 approved. In 2015, 616 received, 447 approved. In 2016, 1,574 received, 1,542 approved. Of course, you will note some applications received in 1 year may be processed in the following year based on the time of the receipt of the application.
The Financial Secretary outlined the basic steps for applying for citizenship under the program.
The submission of the application, the initial review of the application, the due diligence checks, the examination of the due diligence report, examination of the application by the senior examiners of the Citizenship by Investment Unit, the decision-making process, the payment of the required investment, the issuance of the applicant's naturalization documentation, and where requested, the application and issuance of the applicant's passport.
She explained that a person granted citizenship is not automatically granted a passport.
An applicant who has been granted citizenship has the option of applying for a regular passport. This is a separate process where applicable, the agent of the applicant facilitates the application process for obtaining a passport for their client.
She stated that the strength of Dominica's program is its reliance on the strictest due diligence practices. She remarked that Dominica has a competitive advantage over other Caribbean countries with similar programs based on the quality of its due diligence processes.
A due diligence investigation and report is carried out on each applicant. This is done by one of the reputable due diligence agencies resident in the United States of America, the United Kingdom, or in Canada. Additional checks are carried out by IMPACS, that is the CARICOM Implementing Agency for Crime and Security, and friendly governments are asked to run names through their respective databases. Due diligence reports are commissioned exclusively by the unit, and the reports are conveyed directly to the unit by the relevant due diligence agencies. Reports are not provided to, seen by, or discussed with either agents or applicants.
An unfavorable due diligence report will result in a rejected application. A favorable report has to be evaluated further by the Citizenship by Investment Unit. During the process, each application is assessed on his or her merit rather than on the country where the person was born. Currently, no person is denied citizenship under the CBIP based on their nationality. However, an internal policy has been instituted to enhance due diligence, and a more in-depth vetting process is being undertaken for individuals strongly associated with countries that may be listed on the Country Threat Index. The Economic Citizenship Program was introduced to Dominica by the Freedom Party administration under the late Dame Mary Eugenia Charles. The rationale is to increase inflows of foreign direct investment to the country and to facilitate the implementation of projects or development projects which would be financed by means other than loans or taxes. And that's the English segment of the news. Shaakira Pierre is up next with Creole highlights.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel accueil. Non, moi c'est Shaakira Pierre. Mercredi, gouvernement Dominique Bamoun qui tape kay en ses appartements Buffett State et puis Emzol la clé yo pour appartement yo. Construction ces appartements ça là commencé à l'année 2013 quand yon manière pour faire affaires kay plus affordable pour Dominicains. Honorable Scary dit il content pour ces moun là qui t'a tapé appartement neuf yo. Premier ministre là aussi dit tout ça il veut faire c'est aider moun pour faire la vie meilleure. Ministre pour Affaires Kay, Honorable Reginald Austri, dit depuis programme Kay ça a commencé, gouvernement dépensé $50 millions pour wanger Kay, $15 millions aller pour baisser interest mortgage qui bénéficie sa moun qui a travaillé par gouvernement. Honorable Austri dit Affaires Kay c'est une majeure priorité par gouvernement. Honorable Skerrit aussi annoncé l'année prochaine 60 appartements qui sont available à Roseau. En d'autres nouvelles, moun qui a traversé à Roseau qui tape une meilleure expérience. Semaine passée, Chimela a ce pont ici le bloc te réhabilité, pont la pensée et puis travail était fait à ce sidewalk là. Réhabilitation Chimela c'est pour complémenter pont neuf la gouvernement a ouvert à ce 1er mai. Pont ici le bloc te bâti à l'année 1874 et puis te dommagé par cyclone Dorothy à l'année 1970. À l'année 1940-2010, pont là te nommé pont ici le bloc. Et puis finalement, Permanent Secretary à ministre Éducation Chandler Hyacinth a encouragé parents pour point plus pas en la vie enfant yo. Hyacinth te parlé pendant your graduation pour vêter un parent qui complète le programme Parent Ministry là Cochrane. Pour les enfants faire bien à l'école, environnement là à Kai supposé bon et puis confortable. Intéressant en éducation des enfants là, c'est un autre aspect qui fait les enfants là faire bien à l'école. Ça c'est tout pour Nouvelle à Creole. Moi c'est Shaakira Pierre. Ni un bon weekend. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day.
I love the freedom when I'm out there. Simply put, the worries from shore, none of that out there. And it's my daily bread. I learned it from my dad. My dad is one of the senior guys here who catch the biggest fish around here. And he's top with the red snappers. It's a family thing. I'm the only one fishing right now in the family. Just keeping it going. I enjoy bringing them up, man. Sometimes we have a yellowfin tuna, 400 pounds. Man, let me tell you, that's just a joy out there. I enjoy going out there and just holding the big fish. I don't lift weights, I lift fish. The morning of my fishing trip, I would get up, make a little spice tea. Then I come down here. I have my GPS, which most fishermen are supposed to have that. Normally I prepare the day before, because whenever you go out there, you must have ice. Ice is a must for preservation of the fish. So I always make sure I have everything the day before. My fish represents me, and I bring good quality fish ashore simply because the restaurants themselves, they have to show a quality product. Tourism and agriculture go hand in hand, that's what I think. We're all connected, it's like a big machine, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. My name is Brandon Carlisle, and tourism is my business.
Whether it's about how to use the social media getting through the early dark days of a startup or about marketing your business, getting advice can help you succeed. Here's one. Never stop networking. Never stop pushing. It's easy to give up when everyone around you is telling you you can't do it. You have to be around positive people. Then push on. That's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website, news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also available on our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Kimani St. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.